Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Ni hao. Habari. Konnichiwa. Hola. Hi ora. Namaste. Aloha. Bonjour. Salve. Guten Tag.
Conversation piece.
Salam. Welcome back to my podcast, The Conversation Piece. I am your host, Akila. I want to thank my listeners thus far for not only taking the opportunity to listen, but for also giving me feedback. I am humbled and open to your words of encouragement and open to your suggestions for future topics, which, inshallah, I will explore in upcoming episodes. I personally have used poetry and just writing in general as an outlet for my emotions. I feel more comfortable with a pen or pencil in my hand or behind a laptop to convey my feelings and thoughts. I feel more in control. I can carefully edit my words and what I want to express before I hit send because I cannot take it back afterwards. We live in a word environment 24/7, not only in what we say, but in what we consume. What kind of words do we let into our space? What words do we choose to linger on? What kind of words do we hold against each other? What type of words and from whom do we let influence us in how we feel? For instance, how is my squeaky voice affecting me right now? Some of you are probably thinking, well, you haven't said anything yet. Well, that is about to change. I want to do something creative with poetry and music that I and my best friend, co-author, and fellow podcaster of the Vibe Clinic, Cee Cee have written over the years. Thank goodness this is audio because we can be a bit extra sometimes, but just know and take comfort that our intention is to spread positivity, but we are also realists. It's our intention to provoke thought and reflection because we as creatives, we take ownership of our words, and words matter. This first piece is called Webster. Words can maim like a permanent scar, cause friendships to end, bleed into consciousness, taking on personalities of their own. Words can engage countries to war, changes men into leaders or cowards, hurt more than a continual slap, are beautiful, coming from an ugly mouth. Words can heal better than any band-aid, are the only superpower in the world, are a loaded weapon. Some of us should holster our guns. And now, my friend Cee Cee, just be prepared. You know those salad spinners? Well, this woman and her energy is a word spinner.
Thank you, the conversation piece. Thank you, Akila, for inviting me here to share vibe with y'all. I'm honored. All words matter. I thought it would be dope to go back and pull a little something something from There's No Humility in Art. Hey, y'all check it out. After all, the past is still alive. Spody, durag, can go. Yes, backwards. Profiled.
This next piece is called In, Through, When, Where. In the absence of faith, fear will consume. Through the void of truth, falsehood now lingers. When we are exceedingly selfish, humanity will suffer. Where reason Proudly once flourished, an empire falls. This next piece is called Eavesdropping. 5 a.m. in a 7-Eleven, I overheard the funniest thing. Two black men discussing the news of the day. So the time came, man, when I could not work. So what'd you do? I tried to qualify for some assistance. Then what? Woman gonna tell me that I make too much money. What? Man, she pissed me off. I mean, I work, ain't committing no crime, and still can't get help. People go to jail, get out on food stamps, and get them like that. That's why people are going crazy. Can't get no job and need to eat. Man, I think God should just wipe the planet clean and start over. Now I started to ponder the irony of his thoughts. How many men have tried that exact same thing? Where do you want to be when God decides to take him up on his suggestion?
Ain't that something? Who is that? You know, the intentions of, the driver for that. Why is that? I greet smile first, genuinely and friendly, meeting screwed identities, reciprocals for return. Where is that? Stand coldly still beneath dark clouds with aromas of loud, promoting to erase bait. When is that? Zone riding grace, simultaneously surfboarding the flow of words that produce nothing but problems. How does that interfere? Eclectic vibes grants access through God's eyes with mundane realms, filled with fear-based plans, attempting to dull lights of love and Cain. Ain't that something?
How do you feel? Again, apologies for dramatics, but it was intentional. Just like how we choose to communicate. We have so much power behind the words we use and how we use them. And yes, some do use the words to evoke a reaction out of you, and not always a good one. But with poetry, especially spoken word, which I am still working on, how we use the words, we use them in a certain groove. Sometimes it's accompanied by a beat, or we relax our voice for a calming effect. See, I'm not good at it yet. Or we scream. Relax. I'm not going to scream because I have headphones on right now. But we get so emotional because we're dealing in a conversation with other people and they say something. It's like, and we don't like, it's like, I got to get a word in. I got to get a word in. Calm down. Calm down. I took a class recently called How to Effectively Deal with Difficult People. And the one lesson I learned was respond, do not react. In the responding, it doesn't have to be immediate because in that haste, you could say something that could potentially harm a relationship with a close friend or a loved one. In a workplace, you could lose your job. So, process what was said and give an appropriate measured response. One of the things I love about being Muslim is that we start each conversation with Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be upon you. And the response is Wa alaikum assalam, which is peace be upon you as well. Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, taught us that a believer never utters abusive words from their mouths because when you abuse someone, they will abuse you back. So I want to share one last thought with you. I wrote this in 2008, but it's still relevant for current times. It's called intracranial pressure. What is this pressure? Penetrating constantly. Election year. Once again, here is Cee Cee with Nature's Exhibition.
In nature's exhibition, the rain claps against Earth's crusty shell, stealthily sliding the periphery, congregating to center, delivering moist messages of truth. Disrespect humbles in growling winds, disintegrating malformed virtues to an atom, molecular in weight. Unconscious thought swells the air, ducking and weaving the moon. Lightning demands clarity through erratic tag teams with thunder's muscle. On command, the atmosphere chants rituals in a pre-ancient language, praises of unity. Naked and fearless, Mother Nature moves in silence, nurturing all species to cleanse on exhibition while taking a shower. I am velocity, invisible to the natural eye. Science trusted and spirit approved as energy thrusts ideas, concepts, and puns into circulation. Letters form words with requirements to read with an understanding as truth develops. Thank you.
It's election year, so vote, vote, vote. If you're not registered, then please register if you're eligible. In some states, the deadline date is coming up soon, so check with your state. I'm not going to get political, but the right to vote is afforded to us in the Constitution, and it's our duty to use our vote as a voice in our democracy because it can be taken away from us. And with this pandemic, plan your vote. If you requested a mail-in ballot, make sure it's signed and dated before the election date. And if you have to use a drop box, use a drop box. If you want to go to polls and use early voting, take advantage of early voting. Just anticipate a line. Again, plan ahead. If you want to wait until November 3rd, make sure you have your correct polling location. Again, plan ahead. Because with active voter suppression underway in some states, the lines will be long. But don't let that discourage you or your spirit. People have sacrificed and died for us to have the right to vote. Let's honor that sacrifice and express that civic duty at the ballot box. Some of the poetry that you heard here today came from the book entitled There's No Humility in Art, the poetry of Akilah and Cee Cee. If you'd like to purchase a copy, go to bookstore.dorrancepublishing.com. That's DORRANCE. And it is also available on Amazon in ebook format. You can now listen to the Conversation Piece podcast on the following platforms: Anchor.fm, Spotify, podcast.google.com, Breaker.audio, Pocketcast, and RadioPublic.com. If you like what you've heard, you are more than welcome to hit the follow subscribe button. I want to thank you all for listening and allowing me into your space. I hope you will join me again. Until next time, remember, when you start a conversation, start it with peace. Assalamu alaikum.